I want to thank y'all for coming out tonight. I mean, we just want to get around South Arkansas and get out and talk with people that are interested in Mule Rider football. And I tell you what, we got some exciting things going on with Mule Rider football right now. I mean, I've been there 4 years, and where we've come from when I walked in the door, it's been a pleasure to be a part of. I mean, it was tough. There were some times that I thought maybe I shouldn't have done this, but right now I can tell you Mule Rider football is on stable, solid ground. And I'm talking about for the next 4 or 5 years, guys. You guys from Camden, we're excited about y'all being in our program. I think y'all are going to help take us to a whole nother level. There's no doubt about it. We got a big season coming up in front of us. We're expecting big things. We were 8-3 football team last year, and we think we're a lot better. We really do. We came out in the coaches' poll. We're picked second in the GAC behind our enemy, Henderson State. We can't stand some of us. I know I can't. I can't wait to play those guys. But we got to take first things first. We open the first Thursday in September against Southeast Oklahoma in Durant. We've got an exciting schedule in front of us. We're going to be playing on national TV this year down in Magnolia, and hopefully we fill those stands up and let CBS come in and see what GAC football is all about. Playing the Harding Bisons, a team we owe from last year in the Boomtown Classic, which anybody that was at that game, we definitely owe them. We have shored up some things that we were short on last year. Number one was our kicking game. I think at some point and sometime during the season last year, I think it looked like I was out there trying to kick the football at times. I mean, it was tough. We rotated. I mean, it was okay. It's your turn. Go give it a shot. You know, I mean, that's about how it got to. We have taken care of that. I can assure you that. We brought a kicker in from Kilgore Junior College this spring, and our first spring scrimmage out there Saturday morning, wind was blowing, howling, cold. He kicked 3 from 45 plus that day. I said we've eliminated our problem real quick, and we also signed a young man out of Frisco, Texas that we really think is a special kicker coming into our program. Our recruiting class will be again a notch above what we've ever signed there. We feel like we've done that in consecutive years. I know our last 4 recruiting classes are really special groups, and our first one was a little tough, even though we got some good ones out of it. Brooks White, Josh Profit, Tyler Sikora, but it was very lean in what we were able to put together that first year. Now, the class we got coming in this year, really excited about. We signed 9 guys out of South Arkansas that we're proud of. And we're going to recruit South Arkansas hard, just like I told you guys, and ask all the guys that we recruit out of South Arkansas, where are you from? And when they answer South Arkansas, you're supposed to be at Southern Arkansas. That's where you're from, South Arkansas. Come play for Southern Arkansas. And we had guys buy into it this year. Signed running back out of El Dorado. Signed an offensive lineman out of Rising. Obviously 3 great players right here from Camden. Signed a defensive end out of Dumas. Signed a receiver out of Nashville. Signed a linebacker out of Bryan, Arkansas. And we're excited about every one of them. We covered every high school in the state of Arkansas, especially South Arkansas, hard. Looked at them hard and had to make tough decisions from that. Obviously, we're recruiting the state of Texas too. But we have definitely upped our number. Right now we're at about a 50-50 split with Arkansas guys and Texas guys on our football team, and that's the way I want it to be. Texas has to be big for us because there's so much football down there you can't even imagine till you get out. I can't even begin to cover all the schools that are out there. So Texas is going to be rich for us. We're excited about our football team and where we're going. We're expecting big things this year. Our guys are coming in with the idea that we're wanting to win every football game. We're expecting, you know, I can't sit here and promise we're going to be undefeated and this and that, but I know in the back of my mind, and our players know in the back of my mind, that we're expecting to win every football game and be a playoff team this year. And it's been a long time coming for Southern Arkansas in that aspect. Back to the teams in the early 2000s in Southern Arkansas, we're ready to win championships, ready to get us a ring. and then get us another one. All right? And that's where we're going with this thing. I told people when I came here I expect to win championships. That's why I feel like I'm here, and I'm expecting to win one this year. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. I don't know. But everything is in place. We really feel like that. I mean, we got a quarterback returning that's already set 15 school records in Southern Arkansas. We got a running back that needs 183 yards to be the all-time leading rusher in Southern Arkansas history. How are you throwing for that many yards, Coach? And how are you rushing for that many yards? Well, we averaged 497 yards a game last year. We were the number 5 offense in the country. And I was looking at some of those statistics today. There were 7 other categories. We were in the top 25 in the country. And about 4 of them, we were in the top 10 in the country offensively. So that is a huge, coming a long way from where we started when I first got there. My first year there's 169 Division II teams in the country. We were probably 165th offensively, and we were bad. We had a hard time getting back to the line of scrimmage. I still have nightmares about our first trip to Valdosta to play them, and we had 24 yards total offense that night. I mean, they were in our backfield before we even got the snap. So we've come a long way, baby. In fact, that's one of the categories. We're number 7 in the country in tackles for loss against us. That's huge. So they ain't getting in our backfield because we got guys like these Beaver twins over here on our offensive line, keeping people out of our backfield. And that's what we got to have. So we've come a long way on the offensive side, but at the same time, defensively, we're in a lot of top categories defensively. A lot of them. As I went through them today, and in fact, I wrote a few of them down here, if I can see this. 6th in the country in rushing defense last year. 10th in the country in red zone defense. 8th in the country in third down defense. Third down is where you want to get off the field. That's huge right there. Those are great statistics for our football team. Now there's some others we want to get a little bit better at. Obviously turnover ratio is one of them. That's how you're going to win games with turnovers. But we are finally at a point with our football program that we are a veteran team. I've been waiting for this for a long time to come. A veteran football team. And we have that. We have 20 plus seniors this year, which I haven't had close to that. I think 12 is the most we've ever had since I've been there. And I know one senior class we had 12 in. 2 years ago I had 12 in my senior class. On senior day we walked out there, and out of the 12, 6 of them played and 6 of them didn't. 2 of them were on crutches for one reason. So we got 20 plus seniors this year that are contributing to our program in a big way. And the biggest thing I think I'm more is proud of anything is how far we've come as a football program. But more than anything is the quality of young men we have in our program. I think that's the biggest thing that I am proud of about Southern Arkansas football. The caliber of young men we have in our program, guys that are doing what's right, even when nobody's looking at, graduating from college, getting degrees. Tyler Secora's already graduated. He's working on his master's to finish his senior year. Josh Proffitt's going to graduate and going to pharmacy school a semester. Those are things that you really smile about as a coach, and that's something we really work hard on. And the type of kids we're bringing to Magnolia, guys that are coming for a reason besides just being on the football team. We want them to come there because they want to come get a college degree, make something of themselves, and at the same time, let's have a little fun playing some football and quality football team. And we really feel like we've got that in place now. And I can't wait till August 14th gets here. That's our reporting date when our guys will show up. And we're expecting 126, which I have 126 lockers in my locker room. And that's as many as I'm going to take. We had our first time this year, we had a tryout for walk-ons. I mean, I have so many kids wanting to come be a part of our program, I had to put a cutoff somewhere. So we had actually a walk-on tryout. I've got guys to this day wanting to come transfer to Southern Arkansas. I got 3 guys coming in next week to talk to me about transferring to Southern Arkansas. I don't know, man. I gotta do some research on you. I got to see what you're about, you know, and I've turned a lot of kids down, and that may be a negative unless I get Dr. Rankin to build me a locker room with about 150 lockers in it, and then we'll talk about it, you know. But that's where we're at. I'm expecting about 126 kids in, young men that we have really done our homework on and we feel really good about. Their coaches have talked highly of them. They've got the academics it takes to be able to be a college student, and they come from good families. The main thing, that's huge for me. That's a big thing. You know, not every kid, I mean, it is so tough out there in recruiting right now, and what some kids are growing up in is really sad. And there are situations that we may have a guy coming into our program that doesn't have a great family background, but that's not his fault. But some of those guys, it's amazing they've gotten where they've gotten with the support they've had, because they've had very little. A lot of it has come from your high school coach. In fact, I've got a linebacker coming this year that he lives with his high school coach because he has no other option. So there's some real interesting stories that way. But I tell you what, we're putting something together in South Arkansas and Magnolia that the people of South Arkansas, Camden, El Dorado, all the towns down here that can be proud of. And hopefully y'all come out and watch us play this year. I think you'll be really excited to see what kind of product we're putting on the field. I'm excited about it, I can tell you that right now. And we got some big games coming to Magnolia this year, some big games. Starting #1 with that nationally televised game with Harding University here. That will be a huge game for us. So hopefully y'all come out and check us out. I'd love to answer any questions anybody's got. I want to open it up for that. I don't want to sit here and talk too long and bore you to death, but I'd definitely love to answer some questions.
Coach, I'm kind of new, but you talk about your 3 linebackers that you got coming back.
I tell you what, I got more than 3. I got 5 seniors coming back. Signed a real good one right here, and Aaron Wynn. I mean, a real good one. I mean, I think he's going to be a star for us. But I've got Tate Mustin, who will be a senior, coming back. Started middle linebacker for us last year. Mark Spate, working on some eligibility stuff out of North Little Rock, Arkansas. Weak linebacker coming back, will linebacker. Sam Cowling from DeQueen, Arkansas, coming back as a senior, really good linebacker. Alex Mills out of Arlington, Texas, has started in games for us, coming back, very solid linebacker. Luke Lansdale right out of El Dorado, that's got 2 years left. He's a junior eligibility-wise for us. Man, he's a good player, a really good player. And so those are the ones that have got a lot of experience. Also, Hayden Ribisky out of Pleasant Grove, Texarkana, is a young man that transferred back into our place out of West Texas, that has really shown that he has the ability and he can learn it all. And we signed a young man out of a junior college out of Las Vegas to come in because we were a little worried about some grade issues on some guys. Ramos that's coming in, 6'1", 230-pound linebacker. Also, we're going to add to that group. Now he could also be end up as a defensive end too. We signed a large class of freshmen coming in at linebacker. I think we signed 4 high school linebackers because we're expecting them to be ready to go and take the place of those seniors going out the door this year after this season. And that group's a really special group too. Very talented, very talented. Signed Donald Lawless from Prescott. Now Donald could end up as a defensive end for us because he's about 6'3", 230 right now. Signed a kid out of Tatum, Texas. It's a really good player, Keanu, and signed one out of Newton, Texas. That we really like too. So feel really good about our linebackers.
Should have said really linebackers.
Linebackers. We got a bunch of them. You know, we based out of 4-3 last year. Kind of changed our mindset on that. Got away from the 3-3 front. I'm more of a 4-man front, and finally had to put my foot down on that. Coach Lawson has bought into it all the way, and that's why I think we really made a big surge last year from the defensive side of the football. Our forcing unit is pretty good. We're deep, we're too deep at every position. We got a few things we need to shore up in the secondary, and that's why we're still recruiting. You know, we got a couple guys signed. If we get them in here, they're big time as they come. They're D1 guys. So, anyhow.
You know, coaches Nick Davis and Brian Christopher still with you?
Yes, sir, they are, and I'm glad they are. Brian, long story on Brian. I mean, I could give you a long story. A guy that had a heralded high school career that went to Arkansas, then went to Fort Scott, had some problems with all that story. Can't tell you all about it. I just know he ended up at my place. And the young man worked through a year getting eligible, got that, then getting ready for the season tour his Achilles, and boy, that set him way back. That put him out that year after the surgery, and then last year he just couldn't ever get himself really back. Really thought he was going to give up on it. We had a nice long conversation before the end of school, me and him in my office one-on-one, and he's really rededicated himself. I tell you what, he's working his tail off right now to be a player for us this year. And I'm glad, because he's weighing about right at 290. And if you know Brian, he's much of a man physically from the waist up for sure. And Nick Davis has turned into a really good football player for us. He had a good year for us last year, played a lot of football for us. Will play a bunch this year also. Nick's is as talented an athlete as we got on our football team. Physically, looked like $1 million. I wish I looked like him physically. I tell you, he's built. And so we're excited about our Camden connection right here. I'll tell you right, do that.
Coach, talk about, you know, unfortunately in college coaching is a carousel. Talk about your new coaches. You got several new coaches.
Man, I tell you what. From this time last year, July, I lost David Reeves, my defense coordinator. I lost my defensive line coach, Shane Tollison. I lost Shane Tollison to a high school in Fort Worth. He got a $35,000 pay raise. I lost Coach Reeves. He went up a division, 1AA, and now he's over in Jacksonville State, which is a program that's a Division I program. And then I brought in Coach Cozy, who worked with me last year, and he got offered a defensive coordinator job at Simon Fraser, which is in Canada, only Division II school in Canada. And they gave him $70,000 in a car payment for that job. So that was hard for me to deal with what I was able to pay him. Plus his girlfriend's from Canada, so that worked out perfect for me. At the end of the school year, we were out in recruiting in May, and Arkansas Tech approached my offensive line coach and offered him an $18,000 pay raise to come work for him. It was hard for a young guy to say no to that. That's where we got some work to do in closing that gap. But the good news for me is I've been able to replace them with quality guys. I mean, really quality. I think no cut to anybody, but I think in some situations it's really worked out for the best for me. I mean, I'm one of that goes by the feeling that all things happen for a reason. I feel like I'm in Southern Arkansas for a reason. I think things that happen around me are happening for a reason, and my reason being we're going to win championships. That's what I feel like. I feel it coming. I felt the same way when I went to Texarkana, and I drove by that stadium every day, and it said 73, 74, 75, and I said, I'm getting the next one. Before I left there was 06 and 07, and I was a part of it. I'm expecting to do the same thing at Magnolia. But that's been difficult. I was able to attract an offensive line coach this summer in May. Paul Streaker. He's from Fort Walton Beach, Florida, which my wife couldn't believe he was coming to Magnolia from Fort Walton Beach because she's a beach person. He played at Valdosta State. Played on their national championship team, so he's got a national championship ring. He was a graduate assistant coach there. Then he went to UAB and coached with Coach Callahan there. In fact, his mentor was the offensive line coach, who is now the offensive line coach at Georgia, so he worked under him. So he was under two really good offensive line coaches there at UAB during that stretch. And when Coach Callahan got let go, then he got the offensive coordinator job at Fort Walton Beach High School from his former head coach, which told me volumes. I mean, if I'm going to hire one of my ex-players, he better be sharp. And that said a lot about him. Brought him in, grilled him. The guy knows his football. really does. And I'm an O-line coach. I mean, I coached O-line for 14 years, and this guy was sharp. I was impressed. So I really feel good about that. I was able to replace last July Coach Tollison that left with Coach Upshaw, who played at Southern Arkansas, doing a great job for me. He's going to be the next one I'm going to have a hard time hanging on to. Washita tried to hire him from me this year, and they just couldn't quite get the money high enough. And so I'm worried about that. I know Coach Lawson's been offered several jobs since he's been with me, but he knows what's going on at Southern Arkansas, loves what's happening there, and sees some bright things fixing to happen. And he likes being the D coordinator too, so that's good. Then the next one I really fear losing is my own son. I mean, because if I look at Kutztown State, a Division II school last year, they were one of the top offenses in the country. Their offensive coordinator got hired at Oklahoma State last year, and he went from making $55,000 to making $400 plus at Oklahoma State. Well, I'd love my offensive coordinator to make $55. So I mean that's probably the biggest issue we have right now is getting competitive on that end. But as far as being able to still bring in quality guys, I have enough connections out there that's helping me. Hopefully I can hang on to that and those connections. It's tough. There's no doubt about it. But we've been very fortunate. And I just got a graduate assistant wide receiver coach coming in from North Carolina. I'm excited about. He's been coaching in high school under a guy I really have a lot of respect for, Coach Handy, who was at Washita back when they hired Landon as a GA there. He's going to come in. He's going to run our dormitory. I'm excited about that too. And I just got a runback coach today. He's coming out of Southeast Oklahoma as a graduate assistant, Southeast Louisiana, not Oklahoma. He played there for Coach Roberts, who was the head coach at Delta State. Says nothing but great things about the young man. So I'm really fired up about that. So I really feel like I got a nice group of graduate assistants around my program. Got Essie Moore's son, who is from Magnolia, come back, played at UCA. His son's going to be with me this year. Lamar, really quality young man. So our coaching staff, man, I tell you what, we are stacked right now. And we look good. We're talented group of guys that really know how to recruit and get along with young men. That's key. That's key. X's and O's sometimes gets a little overrated. Everybody thinks they know X's and O's. I mean, everybody's got their own opinion of X's and O's. I can sit, me and my son spend a lot of nights sitting there watching NFL football, stealing plays, or watching we video every college team on Saturday. We're looking for new ideas all the time, but it's those coaches that really know how to handle themselves around young men. I'm not into a bunch of hooting and hollering guys, even though Coach Lawson's one that can get a little loud at times. I want me to be that guy. If I need the hammer brought down, I'll bring the hammer. And that's the only time I'm bringing the hammer hard is when they're doing something they ain't supposed to be doing. And they'll know it. They'll know it. Other than that, it's all good.